What's going on, Cowboys Nation? It's your boy Jerome from Cowboys Stradamus. Look, man, real quick, I'm going to just go over a few of the off-season needs that we have. I've outlined all of the off-season needs that we have position by position for our Cowboys, so let's get started. Quarterback. We need a developmental quarterback. If we could find one in this draft, or a young guy, free agent, we could just bring in and develop. That'd be great. We need to start developing a young quarterback for eventually taking over for Dak Prescott. Halfback. Move on from Zeke, move on from Tony. Look into this draft. We can come out the draft with two running backs, man. We need a bruiser, somebody like Muhammad Ibrahim, and then we need a dual threat running back, man. Somebody like a Kenny McIntosh, Devin A-Chain, Tajay Spears, all of that. But that's what we need to have back. Fullback, moving to the West Coast. I like what Kyle Shanahan is doing over there in San Francisco with Kyle Juszczyk, how he uses him in the run game and in the passing game. So I would like to get us somebody like that in this draft or free agency that we'll be able to use as a dual threat and not stop using Connor McGovern as a fullback and tipping off to the defense that we're running the ball. As far as tight end, we good at tight end. Jake Ferguson, Peyton Hendershot, Sean McKeon. We do not need to use one of our high-round draft picks for a tight end. We don't. We're good at tight end. Offensive line, tackle. I'm bringing back Avante Collins, Matt Walesko. He should be healthy this year, so we're pretty good at offensive tackle. Allow Terrence Steele to heal and come back and do his thing, and we got Tyler Smith on the left side, so we're good at tackle. I'm probably cutting Tyron, saving his money, and that's how we handle tackle. We're pretty good at tackle. Interior offensive lineman, we only have McGovern right now, and we need to re-sign him. We still got Zach Martin. Of course we got Zach Martin, but I'm talking about the left guard. You re-sign Connor McGovern to a contract with only 1 year. This next year is guaranteed, and you bring in his replacement, someone to compete with him for the starting job and eventually replace him as a starter at this draft. There's a lot of guys in the draft. I'll go over them later in a video, separate video for them. But yeah, left guard, you want to replace Connor McGovern, bring in a young guy that's going to compete with him to start off the bat with day one. Center, Tyler Biadasz, we only have him for 1 more year under contract. My thinking is you look to the draft. You draft one of those guys, man. If it's up to me, I'm drafting 2 interior offensive linemen this year to compete with Connor McGovern, to compete with Tyler Biadasz. May the best man win. Move on from Connor McGovern, move on from Tyler Biadasz. In the future, save money with their contracts there. You save money where you can. You can save money on the interior line, especially with this draft. It's several of them. So that's handled. Look to the defensive side. D-line, defensive end. I would like to re-sign Dante Fowler, 1. And then I would also look to add 1 more guy, maybe in later rounds, to develop and draft, because Dorrance Armstrong is on his last year. Sam Williams is his replacement. But also, D-Law is getting towards the end of his reign, so we need to start gearing up and providing someone that's going to be able to take over for D-Law as well. Micah is still a linebacker at class 5, but we can still rush, Micah and rush, Sam Williams eventually when Dorrance comes, and still be able to find a replacement for D-Law at the end position. You want to always churn them. You see the people that made it to the NFC Championship, AFC Championship game, they had people on that defensive line that could put pressure on the quarterback. We need to continue to develop guys that can put pressure on the quarterback. Defensive tackle, if it's me, you look to go and sign you a Daron Payne in free agency. If Daron Payne isn't an option for us, then what we want to do is we want to re-sign Jonathan Hankins. We want to re-sign Carlos Watkins. And me, I'm looking to bring in some competition for Oso Odigizua. I'm looking to draft a penetrating 3-tech, a guy like Carl Brooks, guy like Keanu Benton. There's several other guys that I look to that I would like to bring in to push Osa. I'm one of those guys, if you haven't solidified your spot as you're irreplaceable, we can't move on from you, we have to have you, then I'm bringing in people to compete with you. It made the best man win. So Osa's nice, but we got Chauncey. He's really that run stopper at the 3-tech. Like I said, if Deron Payne isn't an option, which I would love to bring him in. If he isn't an option, you re-sign Jonathan Hankins, you re-sign Carlos Watkins. As far as I'm concerned, you can cut Bohanna. He hasn't shown enough. You could use that $1 million towards signing other free agents, this and that, filling out your roster. He hasn't proven enough. He hasn't shown me enough to say, oh, we gotta keep him around. So you cut Bohanna too. So moving on, look at linebacker. I want to add another linebacker. If we could add a playmaking linebacker, someone who's great in pass coverage, a Dayon Henley, Trenton Simpson, Owen Papo, somebody like that. If we could draft one of those guys, I don't want a Jack Campbell. I don't want a slow linebacker who can't move, who will get exposed in open space against these top flight tight ends. I don't want a guy like that. We re-signed LVE. His deal only have 1 year guaranteed, and then we'll slowly work the Damone Clarks, Jabril Cox. We'll see what he could do. Slowly work your Devin Harpers into the mix or what have you there. Going to the secondary, my thing is you cut J. Lou. You keep it moving from Anthony Brown. You got Kelvin Joseph, Nashawn as reserves, and you look to draft a guy, if not two cornerbacks. It's a cornerback loaded class from top to bottom. They're loaded. I mean, I got names in the 4th and 5th round that, I mean, from Julius Brents, Riley Moss, Jacorian Bennett. I mean Darius Rush in the early rounds, Tyreek Stevenson 2nd, 3rd round. I mean all of the 1st round guys. I mean, there's so many names. Darrell Luther Jr. in the later rounds. There's so many cornerbacks, man. Move on from these guys. Do not be paying millions of dollars. Use that money to re-sign those big-time playmakers that we need, not just average Joe guys. So that's what I'm doing at cornerback. And Trayvon is going to have to prove it this year. Trayvon Diggs is a prove-it year. I'm not paying you until you prove it again this year. We're only allowing you to be laissez-faire in a run game, don't want to tackle, don't want to come up and make big hits and drop interceptions if you got elite ball production consistently. And he didn't do that consistently this year. He had his moments in games, but consistently throughout the year, we can't say that, oh, Trayvon Diggs had this excellent year. And we're not paying you 25+ million, 24, 25 million for you to be average and to be okay and to be good on some days, and this season might be good and the next season might be okay, and you're not going to tackle. We're not doing all that. So this is a prove it year for Trayvon. Safety, you got to re-sign Donovan Wilson. Got to. You can cut Malik Hooker and move on from him. I really like Sidney Brown from Illinois, the young guy drafted. I really like him, man. I really, really, really like him, man. That's a guy you can bring in and he can play the roof. He's a playmaker at Illinois. He straps up in man coverage. He has great awareness, things of that nature. He's a gamer, man. This dude, I mean, the confidence on him is crazy, man. He goes into any matchup knowing that he's going to win a rep, and he usually does. So, yeah, we try to get you, a safety in the draft. There's other names. I'll do a video later talking about them. There's other names. But kicker, you find one. You move on from Brett Maher, man. Whoever else you had in here, man, they just aren't good enough. You find another one. Punter, you're good with Brian Anger. You're in good hands with him. Kick returner, punt returner. You need somebody next to Turpin. And I'm suggesting that we move on from Tony Pollard, which means he wouldn't be in our return game anymore. You do have CD at punt return, in case of emergency. But like I said, there's some guys I'm looking to add some cornerback depth. There's a guy in this draft named Deshaun Jameson from Texas. That's a guy I'm looking I may can get in the 5th round. I may can get in the 6th round that can not only double his cornerback depth and compete right off the jump for, our 4th cornerback, our dime cornerback position, but he's also someone that immediately comes in right in and gives you kick return ability, man. I mean, he went crazy in college. Just check him out, man. Deshaun Jameson, man. Cornerback from Texas, man. So, like I said, those are my off-season needs, man. Just real quick, want to run through them. I got some more videos coming. I'm not sure what the next video is going to be right now. It might be my Cowboys roster Super Bowl breakdown, in which I assign positional value to each player that's currently on the Cowboys roster, either under contract or that I would like to bring back, and I let you know that on a Super Bowl roster, Super Bowl ready-made roster, what position or what slot they would be in the depth, like what roles they would play on a Super Bowl ready roster, to kind of illustrate a little bit more to you what our needs where our needs lie. So catch you next time checking out Jerome Cowboy Stradamus. Peace.